Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Jonathan's Room, where Northern rules, enormously jewels. Today we are going to be looking at yet another drag show, which is found on HBO. And this has three of my favorite drag queens, which one happens to be Bob the Drag Queen, season 8 winner of RuPaul's Drag Race. Shangela, Hallelujah, and Eureka. These three are traveling around in their fancy, dragged up buses, and going to places and helping people. Um, so, when we start off the first episode, which can be found once again on HBO, if you do not have an HBO subscription or the HBO channel, you can find the first episode on YouTube, where HBO was kind enough to release the first episode of We're Here. And the first episode of We're Here takes place in in Gettysburg. Um, and they first started off going into this little thrift store, and they're doing their shopping, they're doing whatever. And then when they leave the store, one of the customer goes, "I think you're a sweet lady. I think you're nice, but I will no longer continue shopping here because you let the freaks in." When I first saw that, I thought, was that really necessary? Did that really need to be in there? And I thought about it a little bit more. I thought about it a little bit more. And for me, the answer is yes. Because I want, and I think they wanted people to know that there's still bigotry, there's still hatred. Whether it be towards LGBT, whether it be towards Hispanics, whether it be toward the black people or people of color, of any color, race. There's still that hatred and there's still that bigotry. And, you know, sometimes it shows and sometimes it doesn't. We are in 2020 now. And comments like that can either be deemed acceptable or not acceptable. And in this case, the lady of the store goes, "Thank you, have a nice day." Which was the correct and polite thing to do, which I agree with. Now, we have three different people that they've gone to go help. They have gone to go help. Sandra is going to um, they each are going to transform one different person into an actual drag queen, into a show. Sandra has decided to work with Hunter, who is a queer boy who's always wanted to do drag. He does makeup for drag queens, but has never performed as a drag queen himself. Then we have Bob, the drag queen, who is working with Daryl, who is a straight black ally who wants to show respect and wants to show love and wants to show that if a straight black guy can do this and show that much respect towards other people, towards the LGBT community, to show that love, then maybe anybody else can do that to show that love. And then we have Erica. Erica's story is a little bit more complicated because Erica was a God-fearing woman, and when her daughter Haley came out as bisexual, she just didn't accept it, and there was things that were said, and Haley and her son decided to move in with their father and not communicate with Erica, and that really hurt Erica. And losing her children actually really started to feel that effect of losing her children. So she started going to pride rallies where she joined the group of mothers who give hugs to those LGBT kids whose parents just don't support them at all. And the person who has taken on Erica's case to help her get in drag could not have been the better person to do that. And that was Eureka. Because Eureka knew what Erica was going through. When she came out to her mom, her mom didn't take it very well. And she tried committing suicide. And she was put in the hospital. It wasn't until after the hospital her mom realized how much she really had to lose by losing Eureka. And they became best friends. Unfortunately, Eureka's mother did end up passing away, which made this episode hit home for me, and it hit hard. I've lost my biological mother, but I never knew her. So, losing my mother now would hit me hard too. But I know how close Eureka was to her mom by watching her season, and I knew on her season that her mother was ill. So it just kind of hit me hard and hit me in the feels. And I was sad for Eureka, but I saw how happy she was that her mom was not suffering anymore. And so that was always a good thing. So we go to Shangela and Hunter. Shangela starts to train Hunter a little bit more on the arts of doing drag, and she really wants to get Hunter's family involved. So she talks to his dad. His dad is this macho, ex-Marine, ex-military guy who said that the only reason why he started getting inked up and keeping his hair short was because he kept on being called the pretty boy. And he thought, putting on makeup, getting in high heels, putting on a wig was not manly at all. So he decided not to. But Shangela kind of talked him into being part of the drag show, which was good. And we'll get into that a little bit later. And so then we go to Daryl, or Daryline, of the house of the Joneses. His story made the most impact on me because he was a straight man who wanted to be an ally, who wanted to show love, to show that he could show love. So Daryl's story really hit me, and I was so happy to see something like this. And I was so happy to see that it was Bob the drag queen who was working with him. And then we go back to Erica. They finally get a hold of Haley. Haley goes and watches the show, stays for the show, and Eureka lets her know. She stayed for the show, but there's still a lot of healing to go. They ended the show with Hunter and his family. When Hunter stepped on that stage for the first time, the pride that was on his mom's face was spectacular. And when his dad rode in on that motorcycle with Sangela, on the back of this motorcycle, he helped Sangela get down. He got on stage with Sangela and Hunter. You could see the pride in his eyes as well. Hunter's parents are the epitome of parents for the LGBT community. They show love. They show respect. And more importantly, they didn't kick out his son for being gay. And that's the best thing that any LGBT person in the community can see. On that note, you can follow me on my Twitter handle, which is Jonah322020. I post most of my videos on there. You can also follow me on my own web page, which is Jonathon's Room on Facebook. Or you can contact me on my own personal Facebook page, which is just Jonathan Rodriguez. Or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Jonathan's Room. Bob the Drag Queen, Eureka, Sangela, keep doing the great work. Keep visiting. Keep helping those people find themselves. And I'll see you guys on the next episode of Jonathan's Room, where Northern rules and Normacy drools.